This time, the men's 94 kilo category, and what a category in prospect. David Morgan together with myself, David Goldstrom, for this particular championship, 207 pounds, 14 3/4 stones, and let's meet the athletes. Nizami Pashayev, the world champion in the lineup for Azerbaijan, and the news, the one disappointment is that Milan Dobrev, the two-time European champion and the Olympic champion, injured. We don't know the extent of the injury. It's to the back of the right leg, but he didn't turn up for the weigh-in, and then we subsequently heard that he was not able to lift. Well, here the lineup, and the world champion right on the top of the list there, weighing in at 93 kilos 25, and the return to international top-class lifting for Szymon Koleczki, the Olympic silver medalist from Sydney 2000 for the host nation. But we've got junior world champions, junior European champions. It's a terrific lineup here, and only 17 kilos separating all of the 11 men in the opening phase. So here is the world champion and the European champion, Nizami Pashayev of Azerbaijan. Szymon Koleczki, really tall, and I think everybody hoping that maybe he can get a gold medal here for Poland. Next, the first of two Spaniards, Santiago Martinez. He was 10th in Europe. As you can see, weighed in at 93.85. And next to him, his teammate Jose Navarro. He's the lightest in the class at 92.80 and was 9th in Europe a year ago. Nikolaos Kortidis, the junior world silver medalist of last year. And here's the man who won the title, Arsen Kasabiev of Georgia, the reigning junior world champion. He represents Georgia. Andrei Demyanov represents Russia, and won the junior world gold in the snatch, but failed to get a total last season. Nikolai Patosky of Belarus, another junior world champion. He won that title back in 2003. Bartłomiej Bąk for Poland, the second of two Poles, junior world silver medalist 2 seasons ago. And completing the lineup, Andrei Skorobaklotov for Russia, weighing in at 93 kilos 60. So, David, disappointment that we haven't got Dobrev, the Olympic champion, with us, but nonetheless, this is a classy outfit.
Yes, it looks on paper to be a very close class, with probably the edge on the start list anyway going to Koleczki, which of course would be fantastic if he could win in front of the home crowd.
Yeah, and it's a packed hall here on this Saturday afternoon. The weather's nice outside, but I'm happy to say that plenty have come in here to perhaps see whether Szymon Koleczki can regain winning ways. There are the marks there, 188 kilos you can see there for the snatch, and that belongs to Akikos Kakashvilis, who set that in the Athens Olympic Games. So David Morgan, together with myself, David Goldstrom, almost ready to go. There's just a minute before we'll see the first lift. There's the jury on the left there. Mervyn John in the centre there, the president of the jury, who have the ability to overrule the referee's decision. Once upon a time, they all had to be united, the 5, but now a majority decision will do. Let's hope that they're not called on in that way throughout this afternoon's competition. This is the scene in the warm-up room, and according to the entered weights, it would be one of the Spanish lifters that we would expect to see first, probably Jose Navarro at about 163 kilos, or maybe a little bit more, because I've just noticed that the bar has gone up to 165, and I think we may have yet another change before we get underway. Well, the clock's counting down. Navarro's name is on the board there, but 165. Just having a look at this, David. Surely we're not going to lose a lift early. Well, that's the timeout buzzer.
No, that was the countdown to the start of the competition.
Okay,
so he gets a full minute now.
He gets a full minute now. Okay. So Jose Navarro comes onto the stage to get us underway. This man who finished in the top 10 in the World Championships, in fact, 1 place higher than his teammate Santiago Martinez, to start us off here. So, Navarro. ...25 years of age. And he's moved up a weight category. He was in the 85 class a year ago in the Europeans, but competed in the Worlds at 94. So, unlike the 85 kilo category, which you may have seen a little earlier with us, nice to get off with a good lift, David. And that's a couple of kilos more than he had originally announced, so 165, encouraging. And there, the blue of Greece for the junior world silver medalist. Nikolaos Kordidis, just 20 years of age. And in the junior worlds last year, snatched 160, so as you would expect, progress being made and starting on 165. This young man who in his time wrapped up no less than 3 European youth titles. Nine seconds. 8, 7. Well, good start, very clear in his head as to what he wanted to do, put the bar absolutely in the right place, and 165 gets him underway. Originally from Georgia, which of course was originally in the Soviet Union, and in a way, David, not unusual because most of the Greek lifters actually found their way to Greece rather than being born in Greece. But that's good. New generation. And good material for Yakovlev to work with. Yakovlev just prowling around in the background there. There he goes. So the bar at the moment gone to 166. There were quite a few in the B group, and in fact there was a C group in this competition, and Anatoly Mushik of the Ukraine and Albert Kuzilov of Georgia, they were the two most successful in terms of the total, 375 kilos from the B group. I would think, David, that that should be fairly straightforwardly surpassed.
Yes, I would think by everybody in this class.
So 167 now for Kasabiev. He's only got 25 seconds left, a little slow getting onto the stage here. The junior world champion of last season. Only 18 years of age. Coming down to 10 seconds now. It doesn't help if you're rushed, David, and I'm not saying that was the only reason why he missed that lift, but it doesn't help. And this class is so tight and so close. The coaches have got to be really on their mettle here with the changes.
Well, that's right. His job's to lift the weight, and the coach's job is to keep an eye on the board and make sure he's out there in good time.
He's also junior European champion, junior world championships. He actually snatched 167 kilos, and he went a kilo better in the worlds in Doha, 168. So, given normal progress and no hiccups in his preparation, should be able to do this. So if he is going to follow himself, he's still got a minute and a half. Martinez, the other of the Spanish. Good to see a couple of Spaniards in this A final. It does really illustrate, David, that the Spanish haven't really emulated yet the exploits of their lightweight women, but they are making A finals, which is encouraging.
Good to see the warm-up. 160 kilos there.
So the first appearance of the Russian Andrei Bogatov, weighed in at 93 kilos 60 for this 94 kilo class. 25 years of age, second in Europe last year, and achieved 170 kilos in the first phase of that competition. So almost starting where he left off.
Well, he was posted to start on 170. Obviously the warm-up didn't go to plan. Reduced to 168 and still failed.
Yeah, and it wasn't anywhere near, was it?
No, didn't even get enough height to lock it out.
Just a reminder of our email address. Thanks for those of you who've popped us questions and messages. It's question@weightlifting.de. Question@weightlifting.de. Still plenty of time for you to send your emails in to us. Remember, we've got 2 more competitions tomorrow, the super heavyweights, and the finale tomorrow will be the 105 kilos. And the reason why they've been switched around is because Poland believe that with the Dwenga brothers, they've got a chance of a gold medal, which would be a nice way for them to round off the championships as our hosts. So it looks as if the Russian, David, Bogatov, is going to come out and take this again. I think the only item of equipment that's missing in this hall, David, is really a big video screen for the audience to enjoy the replays.
Nice and also when in the 2 minutes when people are following themselves, perhaps you could cut to the warm-up so they can see what's going on, or
keep involved
as well, so that something's always going on.
Yeah.
And maybe this is something for the future.
Well, we've had it on many occasions. I think it's going to become a mandatory item in the specification. Anyway, here's the Russian. Second attempt, 30 seconds.
He's really going to have to pull longer. He's going to have to hang on to that bar just a bit longer in that first phase if he's going to fix it overhead. Well, no, a bit better than the first one, but really in trouble now.
Well, he's under the cosh. 2 failures, 1 more, and there's no way that he can go for a total. At this particular moment in the snatch phase, it's the Moldavian Yevgeny Bratan who was the most successful in this part of the B group competition. Actually snatched 175 kilos, and the Lithuanian Donatas Anushkeviciu, if I pronounced that correctly, he had 172, as did Pavel Hakavi of Belarus. So those were the 3 top performances in the B group. So we haven't yet got to them, or nobody's got to them yet. I'm sure it will happen.
So the Russian men not having the success of the women.
No, apart from Dmitry Voronin, who I thought was really impressive in the 62 kilo competition. Yeah, of all the Russian men who've participated here, he, the son of a famous father, Alexander, the Olympic champion of Montreal 2000 and, oh sorry, what am I talking about, 1976.
76 or?
Yeah, 1976, yeah. But he was very impressive. Yeah, because
Okay.
we've always associated Russians with the heavier categories, but never that light. Not, in fact, since his dad, really. So, can he do it? Can he stay in the overall championship?
Still needs to hold on a bit longer in that first phase of the lift, the pull phase. Well, it's better now, needs to hold and stand.
Well, that's what you call a rescue attempt and a rescue mission achieved, but at some cost, because that's where he ends, and he ends 2 kilos less than he achieved last year, so that's hardly progress. But there's so many factors to take into account, David, aren't there? You do the training, you do the work, 24 hours before the competition, you feel brilliant. You wake up the morning of the competition and you can be, what, just literally off colour. And all that preparation, not weeks, but months, some cases a year, can just disappear because you know, they're not going to hold the competition back. You've got to go and deliver. So this is Santiago Martinez coming out for his first attempt on 170. So he's put the bar up a couple of kilos. So you saw him briefly in the warm-up room. And looking pretty solid, or pretty confident. Needs to stay on the platform, which he does. And that's 10 kilos better than last year in Sofia in his very first lift. So good start for Santi, as he's known to his mates. Born in Girona. Overall, though, David, here, on paper at least, it's a hard task for him to get into the medals. Unless...
But having said that, that's a personal best by 10 kilos, and he's still got 2 lifts to go, so...
No, it's not a personal best. No, it's 10 kilos up on what he lifted last year. His PB is actually 175. Nonetheless, it was a very good start. And now Demyanov, the second of the Russians, second only in the sense that he's second to lift, comes from Kazan, where the national championships have been this year, and in that he snatched 175 kilos on his way to a total of 398. Only 20. This is his strength, the snatch. He's not so clever in the clean and jerk. Well, he won the Junior World Snatch Gold with 168 kilos last year. So, again...
Well, you say that, but he's posted a 210 opener.
Yeah, well, he got 223 in Kazan, but I'm saying that because he didn't total in the Junior World Championships. He blew all his clean and jerks, 204 and 205 twice. So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see. Maybe he has solved the problems and got the strength to go a lot further in the clean and jerk. We'll have to wait and see. So, Navarro. Just to emphasize at the moment that we still haven't got to the men from the B group. Yevgeny Bratan of Moldavia still leading at the moment with 175. It's Vladimir Batanovsky, the president of the European Federation, you saw there momentarily. Pretty happy with the way things have gone in this his home country.
Good speed, but needs to pull longer and higher.
Yeah. This is Cordidis getting ready for Greece. He's got one more go, Navarro. He has got 165, so he's got a score on the board. Just takes a little bit of pressure off him. Cordidis with some purpose coming out onto the stage now. He's already competed in the Olympic Games, competed for Greece in Athens. Host country, of course, always guaranteed places. They don't actually have to qualify for them, which is probably a mercy for Great Britain when it comes to 2012 in London. That's good. But still needs another 5 kilos to get to the B group, guys. Still Bratan of Moldavia leading with 175, the Lithuanian and the Belarus. That's Anushkeviciu and Hakavi respectively on 172, and they're ahead of the A group at the moment. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting, David, for 2012. I mean, Steve Cannon, who's working today in the hall here as the technical controller, he's the chief executive of British Weightlifting, and you know, 6 years to go, less than that now, and an awful lot to do to find a credible team.
Well, like everything, it's about money and organisation.
Navarro, 170 for the third time.
Better effort. Maybe straight arms, but
leaves him on 165. Just going back to the London situation, David, I mean, should we be thinking of doing something like a sort of weightlifting pop idol, that setting the specification and in terms of age and criteria, and saying, right, you know, people who aren't involved in weightlifting may be involved in other sports, and, you know, actually seeing, you know, whether people would like to turn up, and those who think that they are prepared to dedicate themselves for 6 years. Do you think it's possible? Do you think it's possible in that way that we might find 1 or 2 people that could be trained specifically for that?
I don't know. I think maybe we've got to look at some of the people that we've already got. I'm not sure that you could take somebody from another sport or somebody who's done nothing and
well, what about someone who
get them to the Olympics in 6 years?
What happens if someone who's already using weights within their training?
Oh, it's possible.
This is Kasabiev, 171 kilos on the board. So he's ignored the failure at 167 and put the bar up nonetheless. Well, the junior world champion is putting himself under tremendous pressure.
Yeah, and he obviously believed that he could do that.
Which is fine.
To be honest, it was nowhere near.
No. And now, however tense he was feeling, it's even more acute now. So the bar sitting at 171, and I would think, David, he might well be coming out to follow himself. Just looking at that bonk their opponent.
Well, he's surely not going up.
No, well, that would be ridiculous. Well, it'll be a big disappointment if he does bomb out here. Still a minute and 45 seconds. Be interesting exercise though today, wouldn't it, in terms of the British team?
I think the athletes are there, and they just need the incentive. I mean, most of the people that are lifting here have got full-time jobs, and they train maybe 3 or 4 times a week, and they're up against athletes. For example, this man, I'm sure he trains 9 times a week, and his job is weightlifting, and there's the difference. We've got the talent in the UK. There's absolutely no question about it. But to be the best in a sport takes more than talent. You need the right backup systems. You need the ability to focus just on training, because essentially weightlifting in Great Britain is amateurs against these people that are professionals.
Last chance.
Oh, he almost pulled it out. Yeah. I was surprised he actually managed to get that close.
Well, there's a young man who came here with a lot of hope, a lot of promise really, at 18 years of age, the junior European champion, the world junior champion, and he's been found wanting. And there you can see the situation at the moment. Bratan from Moldavia from the B group, leading. Another B group competitor there, the Lithuanian. So 175 kilos, the target. So big cheer now for another junior world talent. This young man who got a silver medal overall 2 years ago for Poland. Weighed in at 93.65, so in the middle of the field in that respect. 172, had posted 170 as an opener, so presumably everything going well. Just have a quick look at the clock. Here's the buzzer. Well, that's right on his personal best. His personal best is actually 172.5, which he lifted in Minsk a couple of years ago. So that's good. Been weightlifting since 1997. So now there's an example, David. 1997, that's 8-9 years.
Well, they say it takes about 10 years for somebody to reach Olympic champion status.
So Cortidis, who hasn't put a foot wrong, but Cortidis of Greece, who's on 170 kilos, so this is for 172, 3 out of 3, but Yevgeny Bratan still leading the way.
Good man.
3 out of 3 for the Junior World silver medalist. The Junior World champion of last year has bitten the dust, but Cortidis, who was behind him, and considerably behind him in fact, Cortidis totaled up 365 in the Junior Worlds. Kasapiev, who's out in respect to the total, actually 375. So good lifting. And I think what really impresses me is that man, because he absolutely knows, doesn't he, David, how to bring his youngsters on, when to push, when to settle.
That's Kolechki.
Yeah, he must be close to 2 meters tall. Kolechki 223, you can see there the clean and jerk, and he's looking to start at 175, so he should be imminent. Now, Bratan weighed in at 93 kilos 90, which is pretty close to the limit. Kolechki, well, he weighed in at 93.75. So if he does come out to take this and he succeeds, then he will go into the lead. Kolechki's best ever snatch in competition, well, the Sydney Olympics, on his way to silver when he snatched 182.5 kilos. That same year he did 180 in winning the European title in Sofia, but he's had back problems. He served a 2-year disqualification for anti-doping or doping misdemeanors. But he is at his best a real talent. Still only 24 years of age. New leader. One thing for sure, David, with this audience in this hall, he won't need any motivation.
2-1. It's not the best I've seen him, but it's a lift on the board.
It's the first lift. Was the fail justified?
Well, I mean, it's this thing that we've been talking about. We talk about it every European Championships. This press-out rule. It's so difficult to referee. I mean, I thought it was okay, but.
So Kolechki of Poland leads the way. Bratan of Moldavia down a second, and Anushkeviciu of Lithuania in the bronze medal position. Kotidis of Greece at the moment in 4th place. He would have been 3rd, but he's heavier than the Lithuanian. So, and the B group men, their performance is holding up pretty well. Now, Martinez for Spain. 170, 5 kilo increase. Thought the first one looked very good, David.
Yes, 170 was no problem. Just had to take a couple of steps forward.
Now this is personal best territory here, equaling it.
Good.
Well, on my notes before the competition started, I'd sort of written a summary note saying hard task, but he's now making me rethink my assessment of the statistics, at least, because he looked very good on both of these. Quick, powerful, and doing the job well. Quite a lot of energy being generated, particularly when you drop the bar. But as we discussed the other day here, this stage actually underpinned with polystyrene to absorb the energy. So Demyanov, I do get the feeling that he's recently, or is still in the army, by the way that he marches across the stage.
Well, that was how the Germans managed to train full-time. They're all given positions in the army.
Same in Italy with the Carabinieri or the Forestali, who pay their wages, and they occasionally do a bit of guarding of the border. Well, determination has driven that up to give him a good lift on 176 kilos and give him the lead. Yeah, I can't quite imagine Her Majesty's Immigration Department actually employing weightlifters on a full-time basis without actually having to do any work. Or perhaps you could train down at Dover. But we need something like that, David. I mean, you're not wrong. You're absolutely right. You've been there. You know what it was like. You know what it was like when you were frustratingly finishing 4th in the Olympics and 4th in the world. And, you know, if you'd had perhaps some of the support you've been talking about, you might have converted that into titles. By the way, I'm not suggesting that you didn't try your hardest, because I know you did. Well, there is Steve Cannon in the background. He's the man who's got the responsibility on his shoulders in respect to British weightlifting. Now, Nikolai gotta get this right, Patotsky, 22 years of age. Again, another man recently out of junior ranks, but given the performances of the Belarus men's team, David, maybe this man is going to be rather better than the paper marks suggest. So 177 for the lead on his opener. Well, he's well capable of this. He did 184 kilos in the World Championships in Doha.
Yeah, just a bit of lack of concentration, I think.
Yeah,
I think get that.
You can't chase around with that sort of weight on the bar. The wooden protection, saving a fate worse than death for the central referee. Just underlines that you can be sitting there doing your job and suddenly find a couple of 100 kilos flying towards you. Now, Bartolomej Bonk for Poland, second attempt.
They'd probably pay more attention if they removed those pieces of wood, though, wouldn't they?
Now there's a thought. This is for the lead.
And the audience might find it more entertaining as well.
Perhaps that's why they have a reserve referee. So 5 kilo increase. Can he do it?
Yes, he can.
Well, very good. Actually, I haven't spotted his partner. His partner's Barbara Sakroczynska from the Polish team, or formerly the Polish team. But that's very good. 177 kilos. Look at him, really striding off there with some good feeling. Goes ahead of Demjanov, Kolecki in third place now. So Poland first and third at this moment. Still a ways to go though. And of course, in the wings, Nizami Pashayev, David. Can't really ignore him, nor should we. The world champion, the European champion, snatched 185 kilos in Doha. And that was his second world championship. He previously won the title in 2002. So this man, as you said, has now got to apply full concentration to the task. 177.
Almost did it again, but just manages to hold on this time.
He's lighter, so he goes into the lead ahead of Bonk. So Patotsky of Belarus, then Bonk of Poland, Demjanov of Russia, and Kolecki, still with 2 attempts to come. And Martinez with a final attempt as well. Now Martinez is heavier, so I wonder whether they might just put it up a kilo or so. No, is the answer to that question. Happy to continue his progression. 177 kilos for, let me just check this, it would be third place. So we move up from present 5th to 3rd.
And of course a new personal best.
Yeah, he seems to be a lifter who's maturing a little later than some. National Championships in February, he was competing in the 105 kilo class, so he's come back down to 94. Nothing particularly special in that. but he only snatched 168 kilos in the national, so definitely made progress. Ten seconds. Pity. Thought he might have got that. Thought he might have got the 3 out of 3 in the new mark, but not to be. So he stays where he is in 5th place. So 3 lifts to come from Pashayev, 2 from Kolechki, and then 1 each from Patotsky, Bonk and Demyanov to decide who gets the individual snatch medals, but perhaps more importantly, who has the edge going into the second half, the clean and jerk. So Belarus, Patotsky, Kolechki of Poland now, I think coming in at 179. The bar going to be increased to 179. Pashayev actually not posted to come in until the bar goes to 180. Twice junior world champion, twice European champion, twice, or I should say 3 times junior European champion. I remember when we first saw him, David, we thought, you know, what a talent, and if they pushed him too hard, he would run into troubles. We've not seen that much of him for one reason or another over the years. But is he a prospect? I guess he must be a prospect for Beijing.
Oh, for sure.
But that's the sort of lift you've got to make. So Kolechki left in 4th place at the moment. He has got 1 more attempt, but he's got a decision to make. Does he come out for the same weight, which arguably would be the right thing to do? This field is in a similar situation, isn't it, David, to the previous category, because you've got Pashayev waiting in the wings here. And if he lifts to his ability, then there's not much else any of these guys can do anything about it. But Pashayev's best is 185, so unless he's considerably better, and 179 would be a useful weight. It's the weight Bonk is going to take to try and regain the lead now. 2 good lifts. Can he get ahead of Patotsky?
Stop.
Oh, he's having a good day. 1 of 5 kids in the family, sisters Joanne and Caroline and brothers Raphael and Dominic. And they'll be pretty pleased with Bartolomew's work at the moment. He's only 21. So definitely making progress. When you look at that, David, a couple of years ago, 172.5, so that's a big new mark for his personal best in the snatch, 179.
So you said the last result we had on him was nine years ago?
No, I'm saying 172.5 2 years ago in the Junior Worlds was his best mark. So he's now on 179. So that's his new personal best. Simon Koletsky, one of the few lifters around, David, who has got some personal sponsorship emblazoned on his vest there, which is good to see. So Koletsky really needs to do this, weighed in at 93.75. So if he could do this, it would take him up from 4th place into 2nd, just behind teammate Bonk. Well, he looked very relieved when he got the first one. But that's disappointing because it's just made the task harder. Although, I suppose if we put into perspective the fact that he holds the European record, which is effectively the world record at 232 in the clean and jerk, he can come back. But is he in that sort of form? Has he got that sort of strength? Is he prepared for that sort of fight?
I think that's the question. Is he prepared for that sort of fight? Because he just seems a bit... doesn't seem as on fire as he has done in the past. It's his wife in the audience there.
Yeah, Barbara Sakmaczynska. So, the appearance of the European and world champion Pashayev right on cue, 180 kilos, and this for the outright lead with his first attempt. So the man from Azerbaijan straight into the lead. And interesting, the different stature of these men. You were mentioning it last night. You know, you got Koletsky, who's nearly 2 meters. This guy, 170. So Pashayev leading at the moment from Bartolomew Bonk of Poland, with Patotsky of Belarus in 3rd place, and then Demyanov of Russia on 176, just a kilo behind Patotsky. Both of those men have got a lift to come. So 3 lifts to go in this first half of the 94 kilo championship, and it's Demyanov going for 180, weighed in at 93.60, which means that he would go into silver medal position if he does this, behind Pashayev. And Bonk would drop down to the bronze medal position.
I think he's asking a lot here.
I thought he was going to do that for
Nearly.
a moment. 5 kilos up on his personal best, but I really did think for a second there that he was going to pull that one off. What a pity. Well, he's got 176, which is a new personal best, but what a pity. So he stays down in 4th place. So effectively, well, I say effectively, here comes Patotsky. Now he weighs 93.20, which is a fraction lighter than Pashayev. So were he to get this 180, he would actually go into the gold medal position for the snatch. But Pashayev, of course, has got 2 opportunities to reply. So the penultimate lift in the first half of the championship. Not to be. So Pashayev knows that he's got the gold medal. He's got 2 attempts to try and put some distance between himself and the rest of the field. As it is, he only leads by a kilo from Bonk of Poland. He's 3 ahead of Patotsky, the man who just failed there, with Demyanov of Russia 4 behind, and Koletsky, well, at the moment only 5 kilos behind. And I think they'll all be hoping, David, that Pashayev runs into trouble. But that simply may not happen. World Championships, 185 kilos. That is his personal best. And he's going for 186 straight away.
His European record stands at 188. So should he do this, he's still got one lift left to make an attack on that record.
Well, that was very strong, very explosive. Needed a few steps to do it, but seemed delighted about that, almost as if that was the record, but it isn't the record. It is his own personal best, and of course, lots of countries, David, have bonuses for, you know, improving your performance. So I sensed that there was a bit at stake here with that lift. Now the bar has gone to 188. Now 188 wouldn't break the record, it would have to go to 189, and I think it's worth a shout, don't you?
I think so, provided he feels he's far enough ahead. I mean, he's 11 kilos ahead of Kolechki and lighter, which means Kolechki's got 12 kilos to make up in the clean and jerk.
188 is the European and world record of Akakos Kakashvilis, the great Greek lifter who achieved, like Pyrrhos Dimos, 3 Olympic gold medals, but couldn't go further than that in Athens. But, hey, 3 Olympic gold medals, that's some achievement anyway. 189, predictably it's gone to a world record. Just underlining, David, the quality of lifting at these championships. It's been extremely good. We've already seen one world record today in the 85 kilo snatch. Andrei Rybakov of Belarus, 186 kilos. Seen a European total today, so this is very much lifting at a world-class level. But I suppose 3 extra kilos wouldn't do any harm, would it? Because that would put him a full 10 kilos clear of his nearest pursuer. Bartolomew Bonk has secured the silver medal in the snatch for Poland and himself, and Potocki for Belarus, another rising junior, the bronze.
Pashayev, 189 kilos. Another attempt at the world record. This would be great. Really got to hang on. Doesn't waste any time. Oh.
Well, worth the effort. But you can't have a world record every time. As it is, he takes the gold with 186, but more importantly, has given himself a 7 kilo lead over Bartolomew Bonk of Poland, with Kolechki down in 5th place, one of his greatest rivals today, 11 kilos off the pace, and as you said, with a disadvantage of body weight as well. So, first blood, so to speak, goes to Nizami Pashayev, the world and European champion. At 25, he's quite a performer, having won 2 world titles and the European title as well. And they'll have to go some to catch him. Catch him they may. Last year in the European, the clean and jerk was 210, and in the Worlds 216. So, as we said with Rybakov, David, earlier on in the 85 kilos, he may need all of that advantage. We'll just have to wait and see. But as it is, it's Pashayev for Azerbaijan with the edge over Bonk of Poland and Potocki of Belarus in 3rd place. And you have to go all the way down to the Lithuanian at the bottom of the page there to find the first man with 3 out of 3, but all credit to Bratan of Moldavia, the best man from the B group with 175, rising up to claim 7th place. Well, it's still a wide open affair, and the only real man who's sobbing into his towel is Kasabiev, the junior world champion. 3 failures, badly managed, and he can only go for the clean and jerk honours now. We'll take a break, back for the clean and jerk after this. Producing a lift of 170 kilos at the second attempt, and having a tussle with this man, his own teammate, 10 years his junior, Zao Takushev.
Failed twice with 170, but made no mistake with the third.
Yeah, it was a good effort considering the pressure he was under, but in reality, neither of the Russians, or for that matter anybody else in a really strange class, could throw down a challenge to the man who took the gold. Andrei Rybakov, who last year in the World Championships in Doha set a new world snatch record of 185 kilos, and going for a little bit more.
Yes, the bar has been taken to 186 kilos, a new world record.
And well secured, the 186 kilos to give him that all-important world record. But as we said, David, traditionally susceptible in the second phase, the clean and jerk, but giving himself a mighty chance of the championship by going 16 kilos clear of his nearest rival, Takushev, with Mishkovets. The 2 Russians locked together on 170 kilos, ahead of the Frenchman David Matam, who was doing so well until on his 3rd attempt he dislocated his elbow and had to retire, which was a real pity. So on to the clean and jerk, and the same 3 men involved.
So 200 kilos on the bar.
And good enough to secure him ultimately the bronze medal, and something of an improvement for a man who has been in previous competitions rather nervous on stage and hasn't really produced what he's shown in the training room. Yuri Mishkovets, like his teammate, not really chasing Rybakov with his big advantage, just trying to make sure that he could get the silver medal. 202 on this bar. So Russia securing overall silver and overall bronze. But I guess, David, the next part was a bit of a surprise really for us, because Andrei Rybakov with a big lead, but not known for clean and jerk efforts, and put a lifetime best on the bar here.
Yes, 206 kilos, which of course put him on a total of 392, which was another European record.
Indeed, 392 to give himself a world record, a European total record, and for the first time in his life, a major overall championship, taking all 3 gold medals, snatch, clean and jerk, and the overall, and making 5 out of 6 lifts. Terrific. The others made it easy, as you can see, a lot of them not totaling, bombing out in the snatch phase, but nonetheless, all credit to the man from Belarus, giving him and his country a 2nd championship. Vitaly Dirbanov opening up on day 1 with the men's 56 title. We'll take a short break. We'll be back with the men's 94 kilo clean and jerk after this. So almost set to go in this decisive half of the 94 kilo competition. David Morgan with myself, David Goldstrom. Remember, we'd be happy to hear from you on our weightlifting email address, question@weightlifting.de. And a very interesting situation at the moment. Pashayev, the world and European champion, with a lead, but a lead of only 7 kilos. So here we go, the second half of the competition. And Potocki, the man who is in third place, having secured the bronze medal in the snatch phase, to come out to get us underway. 195 kilos on the bar. Well, I have a feeling, David, that weight was always in their minds to make sure that they secure the total.
There's no problems with 195.
That's his personal best that he's opened up on. This was the weight he lifted in the Middle East, in Doha, in Qatar, at the Worlds. So maybe he's vulnerable in this clean and jerk to one or two of the other lifters to come past him, the likes of Kolechki. It's very, very tight, because if you take the leader, Pashayev, out of the equation, between second, that's Bonk of Poland, and Santiago Martinez in 6th place, there's only 4 kilos. So the bar going up to 202 kilos. Well, Martinez 2 out of 3 in the snatch phase. At this particular moment, it's the Lithuanian Anushkevich, who lifted in the B group, who has a total of 382. So Santi's on his way. Takes him to 377, but he's still 5 kilos away from the Lithuanian, who leads the competition as a result of his performances earlier in the day. It looks like Potocki's going to come out for 202. So David, he's being realistic, isn't he? He's got the bronze medal in the snatch. He's got the total.
Yeah, somebody else who's obviously gone away and worked on his weaknesses. If you remember, he snatched in Doha 184, only clean and jerked 195. So there was only 11 kilos between the snatch and clean and jerk, which is not much. But here, attempting 202.5, and if the opener on 195 was anything to go by, this shouldn't be a problem.
Can't get away from adding that half kilo on, can you?
Yeah.
Fortunately,
30 years of having halves.
Fortunately for Potocki, there wasn't an extra half a kilo on that bar. It's improved him to 379. He's up to overall 5th place. But ahead. man in second place at the halfway stage, just tuning up in the wings. Bar moving up to 204 kilos. But he's done well so far. But if he carries on in the same vein as in the first half, I'd sort of expect him to be finishing around about 212. But this to initially score a total. This for the outright lead. Locks the arms out. 204. Kilos successfully lifted, and he goes 1 kilo ahead of the Lithuanian. There's no doubt, David, he is improving. And with Kolechki and this man in this class, Poland could have a strong hand. 2 years of improvement. 2 years to work on these two men before they have to lift in Beijing. Well, that's Jose Navarro onto the stage. 205 kilos. As you can see, bottom right, that's his first clean and jerk attempt. So this would give him 370, would move him up into the top 10.
Solid attempt. Yeah, I think he's pretty happy with that.
Yeah, and another lifter, David, can pick it out on the replay, who uses that technique of sliding the hands out.
Yes, first popularised by the Bulgarians. Use a close grip to clean, and then take the hands out, which of course gives you the advantage of not having to get as much height on the bar. So lock it out overhead.
If you're just joining us, just let me reiterate that sadly, Milan Dobrev, the Olympic champion, former world and two-time European champion, sadly not with us, injured. It's an injury to the back of his right leg. We don't exactly know what the injury is, but didn't make the weigh-in, and the Bulgarian coach advised that he would not be starting. So that's a disappointment, but the competition is not a disappointment, David, because this is quite nip and tuck. Pashayev ruling the roost in the first half, but is he strong enough to hold off the big lift? A little easier and would have discouraged one or two, but as it is, there are one or two men out there who might think they've still got a chance. This is Patotsky, the Snatch bronze medalist, who clearly hasn't yet got the strength to really contest this particular discipline. He's currently in 4th place overall on 379. This is another 4 kilos, so this would take him to 383. He weighs less than the Pole Bonk, who's currently in the lead, so for a few moments at least he'd go into first place if he can do this.
Stał. Ładna.
Well, just about. But as we said, David, 195, he's now improved his personal best to 206, so you can't really criticise him. And 3 good clean and jerks.
Yes, and 2 new personal bests.
That's interesting. Only made 1 out of 3 of those snatch attempts. The 177. Had he had a bit more success there, would have just given him a slightly stronger chance to hang on in the lead, or to at least get into the lead. So Navarro, 208, second attempt.
Well, I thought he'd have sort of struggled a bit more to hold on to that, because he's very, very strong in the second phase, and even after a hard clean, he's still capable of finishing that off. So,
yeah, he's again another man who's pretty close to his best mark, but he hasn't been as impressive as his teammate Martinez. So, bonk. Come on. Now, does he have what it takes? Maybe the effort of the clean.
yes, he had to rework hard out of that squat position, especially in the sort of phase just above parallel. So he got stuck and had to just drive through, which he did. But of course it drains the energy for the second phase. And even though you're kind of resting, you've still got to hold that weight across the shoulders. And just left the hips slightly behind the bar.
Oh, Barbara living every moment there. She knows exactly what it's like. So, Martinez, 208. Currently in 5th place overall. This will take him up to 383. And into 2nd spot overall, behind Patotsky of Belarus. that a bit too close to the windpipe as well?
Yeah, I think so. Just a bit too much today.
Yeah.
So he stays on 200 and has a total of 375.
I've got him on 377 actually.
377? No, he missed 177 snatch, clean and jerk 200 on his opener.
I've got him having...
There's two of them, remember?
Yeah, I've got him having clean and jerk 202.
200. We've got him maybe. He's in at 198, end up at 200. I've got him. Maybe we should
I've got his first
check that.
First attempt was good at 202. We'll check.
Check.
So, be good if you can do this, David. Be really, really pleasing, because this would give him the lead back and it take him up to 387.
That's better. Now needs to get the hips through and under the bar this time. If he does.
Yeah,
well done.
So great stuff by Bartolomej Bąk for Poland, making real progress. Had a problem and solved it. 387, he leads. And now his fate, in terms of where he ends up, is in the hands of others. So Bąk leading with 387, Patocki on 383. Both men have finished their lifting. The man from the B group, Bratin, on 380. So Kasabiev, junior world champion, and this is all about consolation prizes, David, because failed all his 3 snatch attempts, so it's a question of what he can find. Is there some sort of consolation prize available to him, I wonder? Big split, but I think he's done it. So 210, he's got a score on the board at last. And for those of you who like a little illustration, David Morgan's special lifts of weight equations. He's just lifted the equivalent of an average mountain gorilla. 210 kilos. How you worked that out and where you tested it? Did you pop down to Cambridge Zoo or something? Of course, what that does do, of course, David, is to put him right up there in the clean and jerk at the moment. But now the Russian, Andrei Skorobogatov, also going for 310 kilos.
210.
Sorry, 210. Another gorilla.
Another average
mountain gorilla.
Not a big one, yeah. Just an average one.
And he's done it. Well, he needed that because he was way down in 12th place at the halfway stage on only 168 kilos, so not really at the party, but that has helped. Pushed him up into 5th overall at the moment. Bonk leading with 387, Patotsky on 383. Bratan on 380 from the B group, and then after that Patotsky on 3. Oh, well, actually, hang on a second. The computer's gone a bit haywire, so I'll pause.
So 210. Needs to stand. Good. Now, hand adjustment. The dip and the drive. Good effort. Deserved that.
We're just thinking ahead. Bashayev posting 2:15 as his opener, but Kolechki 2:23. And Kolechki's going to need that edge, isn't he, to start to close the gap.
It's going to be interesting to see if Kolechki's the man that he was the last time we saw him. Got that world record at 2:32, and I think that if he's going to catch up with Bashayev, he might actually need to do that.
Worth just mentioning at the moment, David, that Donatas Anushkevicius of Lithuania, who also clean and jerked 210 on his 3rd attempt by lighter body weight, is still actually he needs 210. Oh, they haven't put in the 211 yet, have they? But this could change it. But he's actually leading this at the moment. This is Demyanev of Russia. And he's now the new leader in the clean and jerk. And also overall goes to 387, which pushes Bartholomew Bonk down into 2nd place because he's just that fraction lighter.
And the music signifies that it's Greece.
Yeah, Kotidis. So 212 kilos on the bar for his opener. Kotidis at the halfway stage down and 9th place, 14 kilos off the leader. Still possibly in with a chance of maybe a silver or bronze, who knows. This for the lead in the clean and jerk in any case. 20 seconds. $15. Yeah, just brings the right leg forward there. And that's 4 out of 4. So good lifting by the Greek. I wonder what the next question from Yakovu is going to be for him. So it's been an interesting championship in many ways, David, hasn't it? Because a lot of new generation lifters coming out of juniors here, and quite a lot of promising performances. People you could see, you know, if things went their way and they avoided injury, you know, you can see them getting really competitive in a couple of years' time in terms of, you know, striving for an Olympic title, for which of course only 3 medals are available. There's no individual discipline medals.
Yes, which actually 1 medal is available, just the overall. He's really giving it everything today, this man.
Yeah, trying to make up for this in the clean and jerk phase. No.
So close.
What did Queen Victoria say? There is no second. She was asked in the America's Cup when we lost it to America, and they came over to challenge us, and they were sailing around the Isle of Wight, and she asked her aide who was leading, and was told that the American boat was leading, and she said, and who is second? And they said, there is no second, ma'am. And there is second and third in the Olympic Games, but for so many people it is all about being champion.
Well, having said that, let's face it, it's a pretty big achievement just to get there with the qualifying standards now.
Absolutely. I mean, to be an Olympian in your own right, to make the A final, you did it a couple of times. I mean, but you know, if you'd have just managed to get the medal, David, you'd have been so happy.
Well, of course, that's what all the hard work's for.
So here's Pashayev, our halfway leader, going in at 214.
He's come down from 215. Maybe he knows something that we don't.
Well, maybe he's just playing safe. Get the total. Oh. Well, the world and European champion at 214. He lifted 216 in the Worlds in Doha.
Now, if he only managed to lift this, that would leave Kolechki needing 226, wouldn't it? 12 kilos more.
Yes.
The 11 plus the 1 kilo for body weight.
And there you can see Kolechki posted at...
Come down.
Yeah, he's come down as well. See, I don't think Kolechki is... You see, here he is coming in at 214. I don't think he's in... You know, he's certainly not in 232 form.
Or he's just going for the gold medal on the clean and jerk, and you're going to use all 3 attempts. Well, I think this lift will tell the tale.
Hard enough, but strong enough overhead. So Kolechki, because he's got a score on the board, goes to 389 ahead of Demyanov and Bartholomew Bonk, his teammate, down into 3rd place. 389, 387, 387. What do you reckon, David? Didn't look easy.
He's not as strong as he was. I'm not sure how he'd cope with another 12 kilos on top of that. But he's the European and the world record holder, so.
Of course, if Pashayev were to run into trouble, David, you know, he's not made the first one. If he doesn't make this one.
Well, that was a sensible lift. 214 was a sensible lift because it means he's guaranteed the silver overall, and he can now just fight this one out. Well, no,
knee down, and
things are looking up for Kolechki.
Yeah, I can't help thinking back to Sydney when he had Kakashvilis at his mercy and he didn't close him out. That was a complete...
Well, Kakashvili though played a very clever game. He actually was injured. He had no intention of coming out on any more weight at all, but he didn't let Kolechki know, and the coaches just kept putting the weight up. And Kolechki kept following.
And suckered him.
Suckered him, yeah.
Yeah. But he should have closed him out and taken the gold.
So this man, leader in the snatch, now left with one attempt remaining. He gets it, he goes into the lead, fouls it, Kolechki has gold.
Remember though, David, in terms of clean and jerk, there's still men out there with attempts. So it's not quite all over.
That's true.
Still got Cortidis. Still got Demyanov.
Yes, Demyanov actually is still dangerous. That's right.
And Skoro Boga.
Because he's lighter than Kolechki, and he's a kilo ahead in the snatch.
Yeah. So 2:15 on the bar now. So Cortidis at the moment in 4th place, and this would take him to 387. Looking at his body weight, 93.55. This is a clever choice. This would take him up into 2nd place overall on lighter body weight. So
yes, we'll take him ahead of Bonk
and Demyanov, because Demyanov's on 387 as well. So Yakaru right on the mark here. Just sort of sit into this with about 10 seconds to go. Only 9 left. Well, he's doing ever so well, David. That's 5 out of 5. And up into 2nd place. And he's got one more attempt.
Still what, 20 years of age?
Oh yeah, I mean he's
86.
Yeah,
so
20 years of age.
Junior, good for the next Olympics.
Ah, perfect. Yeah, and he's got one of the top men in the world to guide him. Not only in terms of training, but psychologically as well. Well, this is the man who actually had the better of the argument with Cortidis in the junior worlds, but he's left to scrap for clean and jerk honours. But 2:16 on the bar. Still got 2 attempts, this one and another. Incidentally, that successful 2nd clean and jerk by Cortidis was another personal best by 5 kilos. So he really is having a good time. It's Cortidis leading the clean and jerk. Still Kolechki leading overall, 389 to Cortidis, who's only now 2 kilos behind him and is lighter. Well, the moment of truth can't be far away, David. Now, Pashaev's had 2 cracks at 2:14, and he's put the bar up to 2:16.
Yeah, just to give himself a breather.
Desperate times for desperate measures. But I think this would be a real shock. Couldn't imagine at the beginning of the day that the world and European champion wouldn't be on the medal podium, but that is what faces him.
No. Well,
Will they give him that?
Will they give him it? I don't know. I mean, I would have thought it was a bit of a press out, but...
Well, he's got it. And it puts him to 402. Escape from jail.
Leaves Kolechki needing 228 kilos now to beat him.
Yeah, that's only 4 kilos short of his European and world record. That's a huge ask. I don't think he's in condition to do that. So at the moment, Pashayev of Azerbaijan, he's the defending European champion. And he's in the lead from Kolechki in silver, and Kotidis, who's in the bronze medal position. Demjanov at 4th, Bartolomew Bonk of Poland in 5th place. But there's only 2 kilos separating 2nd and 5th. So it really does show you how hotly contested this category has been. But I think Mr. Pashayev can count himself a bit lucky. Do you reckon, David?
Well, it could have gone either way.
But 216, that's exactly what he lifted in Doha. Yeah. I think he can rightly kiss the ground and thank the heavens. So now Scott Obokatov of Russia, bar going to 217, which would of course put him straight into the lead in the clean and jerk.
Yes, had a disappointing snatch result with 168.
Well, he's got another go. But whatever ambitions he had, in terms of the overall, he still could get a medal in the clean and jerk, of course. But Pashayev leading, 216. I think the next lift from Kotidis is the one I'm really looking forward to, David, from the Greek lad. Greece haven't got a medal yet at these championships. So that'd be very timely, like Germany. Well, not like Germany, but in a similar sense, trying to rebuild their team. A medal here would be a big boost for Yakubu. So, Demjanov.
Yeah, so this would put him into 2nd on the overall, and of course 1st on the clean and jerk.
Yeah, take him to 393, but Kolechki can come back at him. Kolechki's going to have to come back at him, because that's good. So, Andrei Demjanov delivering in this second phase. And he did 223 in the nationals.
So it's within his capabilities.
Yeah, he's... well, what was interesting was the fact that in the Junior Worlds last year, it was the clean and jerk where he had real problems. He couldn't do 204, he couldn't do 205 twice, so there's already a heck of a difference. But Kotidis now, 217. So, 2 more kilos.
Yeah, put him on 289.
389.
389 even.
Yeah.
And ahead of
Kolechki.
Kolechki, yeah.
driver. Oh, what a pity, because that would have given him the lead in the clean and jerk. As it is, stays in third place. What a pity that is, David. That medal I was talking about a few moments ago just might elude him now.
But he's young and he's improving. This isn't his day.
There've been one or two, haven't they, from Michaela Breeze for our own British team, just missing out on an overall medal by the odd kilo. And one or two athletes who've been so close in these championships. So Demyanov leading the clean and jerk with 2:17. He's got one more to go. Now Skorobogatov waiting at 93.60, and that's too heavy. He's got to go. Actually, he's on the same.
Going up to 280.
Yeah, I was going to say he's on the actually waiting at exactly the same weight as Demyanov. So the two Russians. It's what you call balanced eating. That used to happen, didn't it? You know, in your day, there were
well, when the ruling was that if two people weighed the same and lifted the same, they both got gold medals. There were a couple of occasions where some Russians weighed in at exactly the same weight and totaled exactly the same weight, so that they could get more gold medals, basically.
How do you do that, though?
Well, they did it. They did it.
Which is more than you could say for Andrei Skorobogatov. He's having a horrible day. He's finished on a total of 378, so nothing for him. It's all down to Demyanov, who's leading the clean and jerk. He's got one more attempt. Kolechki's got two. Demyanov at the moment in overall silver. Kolechki secure in overall bronze. But Demyanov at the moment, well, he's massive. He's 9 kilos behind Pashayev. And Kolechki, well, he's got two left, but he's what? 11, 13.
228.
Yeah. So 5 kilos. I think the first thing he's got to do is to get back into silver and make sure that Demyanov can't attack him there, really. So this will give him 394 and put him back into silver. Will obviously also give him the lead in the clean and jerk. But is he strong enough? Can he clean it? Maybe if he gets it on his shoulders, David, maybe he can finish it off, but is he strong enough for the first phase? Answer, yes. Certainly strong enough overhead if he can stand still. Good fight. That's more like it. That's more like it. That's what we wanted to see. And the Olympic silver medalist from Sydney proves that there's fire in the belly. Well, Poland in the men's division have come so close to medals. Krzysztof Stramiak last night, just missing out by the odd kilo. That isn't going to happen today. So Kolechki now, at this particular moment, is 8 kilos, effectively 9 kilos behind. I think it really depends on Demyanov's last attempt, really, doesn't it, David? I mean, Kolechki needs Demyanov to come out for that final attempt before he comes out, so he knows what he's got to do.
He needs him to come out and he needs him to come out before and hopefully miss. Yeah. So that he can take the big jump. Although I really don't see him doing much more than the 219. I think 228 is probably asking too much.
Well, here's the junior world champion, 18-year-old Arsen Kasabiev, going for the big consolation prize. Nothing in the snatch, nothing to bring forward. Failure at 216, ignored that, thinks he's strong enough to put the bar to 220. Well, very simply, if he does it, he gets the medal. Simple as that in the clean and jerk. Could even be the gold. This will make life interesting. Come on. Come on.
Oh, he's done really well.
Oh, that is brilliant. Very deep split, but he retrieved, and 220 underlines the Georgian's promise for the future. And he goes to the top of the clean and jerk rankings. Just seen two terrific pieces of fighting, David. First Kolechki, now this man. And how difficult is this?
Well, he was in, all the positions were wrong. Somehow he managed to get under it and hold on to it.
Well, he's got, at worst, a bronze, maybe a silver, could even be a gold.
So
and you
shame you missed all those snatches.
Yeah, and you never know, with the other two boys rather concentrating on the overall total. Kolechki's got to find another couple of kilos to go past him in the clean and jerk, and likewise for Demyanov, because they're both heavier than him. So Georgia, that's another country on the medal table, David. So we had 16 countries. We've now got 17, with Poland 18. This is very good news, very healthy. Now, well,
226. Well, it's not enough, is it, to take the overall?
Well, no.
I'm not quite sure what the 226 is. Maybe it's to push the, try and just...
227, Demyanov, high stakes poker, Demyanov, 227, Kolechki's, well, he's won the tactical battle, he's yet to win the lifting battle. So Demyanov now 227, this is a 10 kilo increase to take him to 403. So this is the big lift to take the championship. He needs this because he's heavier than Pashayev. Now, remember, in the Nationals, he lifted 223. So this is a land which he's yet to visit. Well, certainly on a competition stage. So 4 kilos more than his lifetime best in competition. And this to take the lead in the 94 kilo European Championship. No. So Kolechki now knows, David, that he's definitely got the silver medal.
And he's got an opportunity to go for the 228, which I think he'll go for, but on his best day, he could do it. Today, I really wouldn't put any money on him. But I think he's pretty happy that he's got the overall silver, to be honest.
Yeah, Kolechki, if he goes for the 228, what's that? That's 9 kilos, which is the 9 kilos he needs, isn't it? Yep, it is. It's the 9 kilos, as you said.
12 kilos. He needs 12 kilos.
Well, no. He's on 219. He's got that, so it's 9 kilos now that he's down. Oh, what's happening?
No, he's not doing it.
No.
He's going to stay with. He's going to. It's too much.
Well, the trouble is he's teased the audience, isn't he? Yeah, they put the bar up to 220, but...
So the Georgian won the gold on the clean and jerk.
Yeah, which was always on the cards here, but it's Pashayev by a whisker. Kolechki just not fine-tuned. They've accepted it. The audience disappointed. but probably a wise thing, because he's had so many injuries, particularly to his back, that it would be silly to put it at risk at this stage. It's a long way to go. World Championships in the Dominican Republic and next year in Thailand, but Kalecki's given Poland its first overall medal here at these championships. Pashayev, well, he was fortunate today, David. If Kalecki had been more tuned up, then maybe he would have lost the title. As it is, Pashayev hangs on to his European title. The statistics make it look as if it was an easy win, but it wasn't. Kasabiev, though, takes, as you say, the clean and jerk gold. 210, 220, that big third lift. And then Kalecki, 219, so silver. And Demyanov of Russia, another promising talent, 217, having his moment to go for glory, but not ready for it today. And Pashayev, fourth in the clean and jerk. That 216 saving the day for him. And interesting, you see Potocki there of Belarus in the first part of the competition. Potocki in bronze medal position. Bonk down to 10th, but again, I think a promising performance from Bartłomiej Bonk of Poland in 5th place. So Poles in 2nd and 5th place. The overall championship stays with Azerbaijan, Kalecki the silver, and Demyanov the bronze. Just bring you that, and then we might have to rush away. Here we go. Just to say very quickly that tomorrow